Hello, welcome back to Thrive Yoga Fit Transformational Coaching. This is Erin. So today I'm doing a live video. We are starting to announce them rather than just whenever I want. So getting a little bit more organized and doing it a little bit earlier so the lawn people don't come and decide to be really loud and blow leaves and things while I'm trying to talk. This is life. I have a lot to talk about today. I had a really big weekend and I took ceremony with a good friend of mine who is also an amazing shaman. I feel like the title shaman, and I think real shamans might feel this way too. It's a title that's given to you, not one that you might use yourself. You know, it's like in Japanese, like I wouldn't be like, oh, watashi wa Erin-san, right? So like giving myself the honorific, it would rather be like, watashi wa Erin desu. So it's one of those things where you allow somebody else to give you that honor. And so I'm definitely giving my friend that honor. So we took ceremony. It was in Sarasota. And it was, we have sort of, religious designation. And so we took ayahuasca along with some other plant medicines combined and did a ceremony. And it was 6 hours long, actually 7. It ran over. And I wasn't sure what I was signing up for. And I think, a lot of people that work with me don't know what they're signing up for, really. I think that they trust me. And I think that they can feel my heart because I have amazing intentions for people. And my purpose, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, is to help people heal. To be more clear, my purpose is to help people travel through and navigate their pain and suffering and transmute it into love and compassion for the world. And then fulfill their greatest, deepest desires as they do that. That's what I do. That's my purpose. And that came to me super clear during this ceremony. Because sometimes ceremonies like that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be involving plant medicine, but, when I do my coaching courses, people break through, they go like, halfway through and then they start having all this stuff coming up. And we have tools that allows them to travel through, deal with the darkness that's coming up so that they don't reabsorb it. It's like if you've ever done a detox, and if you pardon me, I thought wearing a sweater was a good idea, but I'm not going to sweat this whole episode. So, woo, much better. Okay. So when people detox, part of the detox is messy. Like a real detox is, you're not going to feel great during it. You might like break out. Like actually, I kind of like broke out a little bit on my face after this weekend, just because my body is processing some emotions that were stuck within me. And when you detox, it's not necessarily fun, but you do it gradually. Your body kind of pulls its resources to release toxicity from within you. It's the same thing with emotional detoxing. And actually, if you've done like a cleanse or a fast with like juice, if you're not addressing the emotional aspect, you're not really cleansing because it's all connected. And so if we're not properly releasing, we're going to recycle this toxicity within us again. And I have found that with people who sometimes they'll sort of uproot some of this toxicity, but then they don't do the integration and they don't fully release it because they either just don't continue with the plan as far as like how to integrate and using the tools, and their body reabsorbs that poison and then it comes out. And I've seen that happen before. And so my mission now, just having been through having people have huge releases, is to help them to integrate more. And that's why in my coaching program, it's like much more than just life coaching. I'll tell you that. I have people we have a mentorship, we have a mastermind, and this is meant to help people integrate back into their life. Who am I without this toxic belief that I've been carrying around for most of my life? I have this lightness, but there's sort of like the whispers. There was one yogi that explained it so beautifully as far as samskaras. Samskaras is like you can like burn it out through yoga practice, through meditation, but like the samskaras is like if you've ever left food in a container for a while, and even if you wash it and wash it and wash it, it still has like a little bit of that smell. Like that is how deep these samskaras go. And so if we're not integrating and using the tools afterwards, it's gonna start to come back, right? So it's like, well, this is my life path now. I have to take care of myself. Who am I without this belief? And you have to practice who you are without these toxic beliefs. So anyways, back to the the weekend ceremony. So, I lost my mother earlier this year, and I've done a lot of beautiful grieving. And there was just what came up for me was incredible. So just to give you a little bit of precursor as far as going into the ceremony, it was the day of my niece's birthday. The day before her birthday, she tried to take her life. She's 13. Now she is. She almost didn't make it. And that hit me so deeply as a wake-up call for how much we need emotional and mental support right now. What is happening in our country and just in the world of us being divided, of us not having that support, of us feeling isolated and being so disconnected from like divine mother consciousness, right? Like the nurturing aspect of us, the part of us that gives unconditional love, because unconditional love like breaks all barriers. And so going into that ceremony, I was kind of like shell-shocked of what had happened, of this pain in my family. And having lost my mom earlier this year, I thought, well, we have a chance to save her, to save my niece. And so I went into this ceremony with that heavy on my heart and just feeling depleted, because I show up in a big way for people. I help them. And to do that, I have to travel through my own darkness. And sometimes that darkness is transgenerational. People who are unhealed pass down pain, like my mother passed down pain. I love her and I forgive her for everything, but she passed down a lot of pain to the rest of my family. And so they're struggling to deal with it. And my sister didn't know what to do. And so I went into the ceremony with all that weighing on my heart. And what came up for me was clear as a bell. And it said, they need to come live with you for a little while. And it was like, of course they do. Of course they do, because I have so much love to give. I have the resources now. Financially I'm okay. We have some extra space in our house. Like, that is your heart. And I'm like, this is going to sound weird, but I'm grateful that my niece, of course, didn't succeed, but the fact that she did that is a wake-up call for my entire family. And for me, who I help to guide people through their suffering and transmute it into love and compassion for the world, I can certainly do that with my family. And so that was one of the biggest things that came to me, along with 6 names. I wrote down those names, and each of those names I reached out to. Sometimes it doesn't make logical sense, right? It's beyond the realm of the mind. But I wrote down those 6 names, and I reached out to every single person, and I said, I'm called to help you, and let's make this work. And so I have people flying in, again, from all over the nation to come join me November 1st through the 8th for my coaching course. It's going to be a little unorthodox, this one. We might do something similar to what I experienced. I have to talk to everybody in the group, and make sure that everyone's on board with that. But we're processing trauma this round. This round is all about trauma, and certainly my family has some, and it came to me so fucking clear. So, finding your purpose and fulfilling it and showing up for it, even when you're afraid. Because I have fear. I have fear a lot. I get scared, and like sometimes I'm so worried about like what the public might think of me. You know, like I never wanted to be one of those like weird yoga people that has like the 50-yard stare because like I just think those people are weird. But it was like my own judgment was like, and that's like me judging myself too, right? Because like I can tap into different planes and I can tap into things beyond the realm of the mind, and that's one of my greatest gifts that I help people to heal with. You know, and I think that people will accept that. My people will accept that. And I think my students know that about me, and that I come in with, you know, really wonderful intention and loving them. And some people don't get to experience that. And so if I can be a conduit, if I can be a vessel, and I can be chosen to channel these healing powers, if you want to call them. I've been practicing yoga for almost 20 years. For those of you unfamiliar, in the Yoga Sutras, in the third pada, there's it's called Vibhuti Pada, which is like the Vibhuti powder that you would put and bless yourself in a ceremony or a puja ceremony. When you do these practices, you start developing a very sharp intuition, and you can use it for good to help your community. And so my goal is to help my community heal. And so that includes people that have coached with me, people that are in sort of like the outer ring of my orbit, like those that just listen to my podcast. Maybe you've never met me, maybe you've never done one of my programs, but you hear my voice, you're in my community. And so those are the people that I need to show up for. And certainly to do that, pulling in my family and healing transgenerational wounds is part of the process. And that came to me so fucking clear. For me, when fear comes up, there's two options. One, retreat. And I did that for most of my life. Two, turn around and face it. But here's the thing. I think a lot of times we're expected to face our fear, but a metaphor for this might be like, if I was like, okay, well, you're going to go into battle. And you're like, what? I am? I'm like, yes, you're going to go into battle, but I'm not prepared. It's okay. We're just going to drop you off. And you know, like if you've ever played a video game, you get like the starter weapon, like Link in Zelda, he has like a tiny little sword. So imagine me just like dropping you in the middle of a battlefield. I'm like, here's your little sliver of a sword, like a paring knife. Now go. You would get killed instantly, right? So what I do with my people is I make spiritual warriors. So you have your original little weapon, right? I give you a shield, I give you a sword, I give you bows and arrows, I give you like special potions to take like when you're like in the middle of it and you're not feeling so good. I give you protection. I give about 25 tools in my course so that you can go to battle within yourself. Because when you let fear win, you pass on pain. And that's been happening in my family for like my whole life. But it stops with me. It stops with me. And anybody else that is a healer, if you're hearing this and this is speaking to you, if you want to be trained as a spiritual warrior, that is what I do. I create alchemists. I create people that come to me already strong, but maybe with wounds. Or maybe they come to me strong and they're just caught up in their own trauma, and they're strong because they have all this trapped energy that they've been fighting down into their bones, and they don't know how to transmute it. That's what I teach. I teach you how to go into battle compassionately, and I teach you how to transmute this energy. So when fear comes up, you can face it, but you be smart about it, right? Especially with something like trauma. You can't just drop somebody into their trauma, you know, even if you have the best intentions, without giving them tools. And 100% they need to feel safe. And that's what we help to create, because safety is 100% first and foremost created on the inside. Now, certainly there's certain circumstances where the outside needs to be, it's a little bit volatile, it's a little bit chaotic, and we need to create some stabilization there. But, sorry, this is a lot. When we create safety on the inside, you carry that with you at all times. It is the best type of protection that you can have. And then people, just by being in your presence, are healed. I can tell you that my partner, who I love so much, Matt, had a breakthrough. And, I was involved in that breakthrough. I'm not going to go into the details because that's his business, but he radiates unconditional love now. And we went through it together. We grew together. And it's amazing because now I'm ready to start a family with him and really commit to him and our relationship. And it's so beautiful because it was just fear that left. It was fear and trauma that had been recycled, and certainly I grew too, but I can see it in my partner. I can see it in my students. I can see it in the people around me. And so if your purpose is to help people, what the fuck are you doing? Get up off your ass and do it. And if I have a way that resonates with you, come to me. Speak to me. Let's make it work. The world needs you. I need you. You need me. Together we rise. What I teach is very intimate. What I teach, I open up my heart and I show you how to do the same thing. When you can do that, then when you come to people that need healing with an open heart and with unconditional love, it melts away their defenses. It melts away their barriers to being healed. You're able to remove compassionately their shields. And sometimes the ego is a big shield, right? We get arrogant, we think we know better, right? Or we'll have a story in our mind about something that we made up about the person that we want to learn from to prevent us, right? And that's the ego keeping you under its thumb. And so if you can find a way to travel through that fear, and maybe you need to really tap into your passion. You need to really find what your purpose is. Now, I help people. I've stated what I do. I'll say it again. I help people navigate and transmute their pain and suffering into love and compassion for the world and fulfill their deepest desires while doing it. That's exactly what I do. And I have a lot of students that believe in me, even when I, get caught up in the throes of my mind, which I manage every day, but, sometimes life circumstances cause you to a little bit. It's actually the thoughts, but circumstances make it a little bit harder. There's such a beautiful community that has formed around Thrive, including this 300, which is starting this weekend, of some of my most powerful, I call them my powerhouses. So just people that want to help to heal the world. And I am here for it. So that's what I help people to do. If you have fear around showing up in the way that you want, you need to tap into your reasons, baby. Why are you why are you so passionate about this? What does it do? Does it make your soul sing? And by allowing your soul to sing, will that inspire others? Probably. And so you need to find a way. It's not even about you. It's about world healing. It's about helping others. I think it's very important with our purpose to make it bigger than you. Because you're channeling, if you are truly in your purpose, you are channeling God energy, universal energy, whatever you want to call it. Yahweh, Yohe, Vohe, Om, whatever it is for you. If you can channel that, it is the best service that you can give to the world. And so do what you need to do. It's not just like a one-time, wham, bam, I found my purpose. You need to work at it every day. When I show up and I meditate, even when I don't want to. When I do my yoga practice, even when I don't want to. When I eat a salad or put extra handfuls of spinach in my smoothie and drink a gallon of water. I do it because it's beyond me. It's me taking care of me, certainly, so that I can show up. Because on the level that I need to show up for other people, I need to take damn good care of myself. So it's like, it's not even about me, it's about helping others. And by me taking care of me, I hope that it helps you to look at fear as not you, as just something, an illusion, that it's a story. And fear itself, the feeling isn't even that bad. It's the stories we wrap around the fear. So don't resist fear. Turn around and go into it. Be intimate with it. Bring your bow and arrow, bring your sword, bring your shield. But part of the process is to become one with it, to release the resistance and allow it to process through your body. Your body is an amazing healing mechanism, and anybody or any pharmaceutical company or any government that tells you that your body is not fantastic and amazing is trying to control you. So you are powerful. You are amazing. And your body is a vessel through which you can experience the vibration of this life. And so if you need a voice to tell you, show up big in your life. Do it. And if you need help, I can show you how. So, all right. So a little bit of piss and vinegar for you, or magic and sparkles, however you want to look at it. So thank you so much for listening. These podcasts are partly me pouring out my heart, my public diary. I appreciate support. If you haven't left a review for the podcast, please do that. You can do it on iTunes. It really helps people to find me. If you're interested in signing up for the November course, it's from November 1st to the 8th. We start in less than a month. Get your ass down here, and we do it in person. The mentorship afterwards is 3 months, and that is me and my partner Matt helping you to navigate all the things that would come up for you as a life coach and give you support. And then the mastermind after that is with me, where we check in with ourselves. I call you on your bullshit and make sure that you're applying the tools. So reach out, Erin@erincoach.com. You can go to my new website, thrivewitherin.com. Again, that's thrivewitherin.com. Thank you so much, and namaste.